Top of the morning, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Max Kellerman. I was looking at an article, and it was by Chris Williams from Boxing News 24. Okay, and of course, if you guys don't know, Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, they were going toe to toe like they always do. And according to this article, well, Max said that Deontay Wilder has been given step-aside money so that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua can fight 2 times in 2021. Okay. Now, according to this article, Kellerman maintains that Kellerman maintains that former WBC heavyweight champion Wilder, 42-1-1 and 41, is being given money, just that he'll wait. He has a contractual rematch with Fury, and it's gone to arbitration due to Tyson Fury choosing to face Joshua. What Kellerman says about Wilder getting step-aside money makes sense because Fury has no intentions on fighting him now. With Wilder's contractual rematch, Fury should be fighting him again, but everything has gone quiet. So what does that tell you? Kellerman must know something about the step-aside deal. Now, he said it was 5 to 10 million that Wilder is getting to step aside. That explains why he's not making noise about the rematch. Now, let me counterpunch. First of all, what he said, this guy, Chris, okay? Chris said that Tyson Fury has no intention on fighting him now. Let me totally disagree. Obviously, Chris doesn't know or keep up with the up-to-date information about the things that Tyson Fury recently said. Tyson Fury did say that, hey, he could fight Deontay Wilder, who knows, for a third fight, okay? Despite what he said last year when Deontay Wilder made some prejudiced comments towards him and his people, he was pissed. He didn't like that at all, and he said that he would never fight Deontay Wilder. Well, obviously that was a lie because Tyson Fury now has changed his mind. He's had a change of heart. So, he started talking about sticks and stones. So in saying all that, there is a possibility, if this particular fight doesn't go down between himself and Anthony Joshua, he could be fighting Wilder. So I think what Wilder's doing is Wilder's just trying to see if that fight is actually going to come off the air because they've signed both contracts, but they don't have a site fee. And that's the big problem with those guys, okay? The site fee, which I'll talk about a little later. But as far as Deontay Wilder waiting for step-aside money, if I was Deontay Wilder, I would be doing the same thing, okay? If this is the case. Max Kellerman, if he knows something we don't know, who knows? I know Max is just probably going about the standard procedure. The standard procedure is, hey, you sign a contract to fight a guy on a rematch clause, you fight that guy. But what people don't understand is you're talking about Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. Tyson Fury did the same thing with someone that was a much bigger star than Wilder, that reigned twice as long as Wilder, that was the man when Wilder was coming up, and his name was Vladimir Klitschko, okay? And Tyson Fury upset Vladimir Klitschko, and he never fought him again. It went through some turns, some curves, some bumps, some bruises, but he didn't fight this guy, okay? He stayed out of the ring 3 years, but he never fought Klitschko, period, okay? Even though he was obligated to fight Klitschko, it didn't happen. Okay, and then Klitschko retired after getting knocked out by Anthony Joshua in the 11th round of their super bout, down in Wembley. Okay, so that's a little backstory for you guys. But for Deontay Wilder to step aside to allow these guys to fight, I think it's a little different than that. I don't think he's allowing them anything. I think what he's doing, he's trying to see if they're going to go ahead through the fight. Then him and his team can go through the proper notions to, in fact, sue or see what they can get from him not abiding by the contract as they agreed upon. So that's basically it. But as far as them stepping aside, obviously what clashes with that? What news clashes with that? The expiration date of the contract. So if the contract is expired, they don't really have a leg to stand on. So it's more than one reason why Team Wilder is so quiet. Because normally those guys, Wilder had a ton of things to say. Now he's quiet. He's quiet. Shelly Finkel's quiet. Jay Deeds is quiet. Why do you think that is? I think those guys are quiet because I don't think they really know what the next step is. They don't know what the next step is because they don't know what's going to happen with Tyson Fury. All eyes is on Tyson. Okay, so if Tyson gets frustrated like he's starting to become, and he's starting to become agitated with the whole, are we going to fight? And is the site fee going to be, I want the money and all this? I think he's getting aggravated. So I think the Team Wilder is sitting aside, and I think they're advising Wilder to take a back seat and shut up. That's what I think. You know what I mean? That's why you see him, posting pictures of more personal stuff instead of the things that he's going to do in the ring, which, is a good or not good thing. So I feel at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder, he's waiting to see if he has any possibility of getting the step aside money based on what happened in the mediation, because everything is just so hush hush. Okay, and that's either a good or a very bad thing. Very good because he may know something we don't. Very bad because he may know something that we do not know. Okay, so he may not get anything if the contract is expired, right? And then he knows that. That's why he's not saying anything. Or he's waiting for Tyson Fury to fight Anthony Joshua, because once that happens, that means he's cut out of the deal. But remember, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury already fought twice. And who was out of the deal at that time? Anthony Joshua. He couldn't fight those guys because those guys were fighting each other on contract agreements. See, Tyson Fury didn't fight Wilder before. So you guys have to remember that. He didn't fight him when he's supposed to, according to the contract that they signed. When they fought the first time, they had a rematch clause, right? A two-way rematch clause. Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, they decided to fight again, and then Tyson Fury, in return, signed with ESPN. Then counter offered him a deal with ESPN so that he would come to ESPN, since Deontay Wilder's contract with Showtime was up. He could have done whatever he wanted to do. He could have went to the zone and fought Joshua, as we all know, and he messed up a whole lot of money, which he didn't do. He could have signed with ESPN to fight Fury if he wanted Fury that bad back in 2019. He didn't do that. He stayed with Showtime, bargained with Showtime, got $10 million to fight Dominic Breazeale. Showtime dropped him. Then he started fighting over on Fox. Okay. And he fought Ortiz on Fox. And the very next year, he was beaten by Tyson Fury, and he hasn't fought since. That's the little backstory of Deontay Wilder. But their contract that they had to fight each other for the second time was not honored. So don't be surprised if Tyson Fury doesn't honor it. He's never honored a contract clause, a rematch contract clause, if you think about it. So if he fights and beats Joshua, he could step out on that. Who's going to tell Tyson Fury what to do, really? Nobody else has done it thus far. So I think Deontay Wilder is biding his time based on his options. But the only problem is we don't know what his options are. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Max Kellerman saying that Deontay Wilder will receive $5 to $10 million to step aside. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.